All right, Anthony. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah.
We've been talking baseball since last October when we first met.
Yeah.
All right, so we're the baseball guys, right?
We are the baseball mans, the baseball guys.
All right, I'm Giraffe Neck Matty. This is Anthony Bag of Triscuits.
Yeah.
All right,
Triscuits are my favorite snack, you guys, so let's go.
I love Triscuits myself.
Me too, man.
Garlic and herb, maybe some cheese and roni with it.
Really, I just like the rosemary and olive oil kind. Those are my favorites.
I respect that.
I love those.
So Anthony Vernaglia,
Yeah.
the Westwood product.
Yeah, the Westwood product.
So what year of high school are you going into, Anthony?
Junior year.
At the high school?
Yeah.
All right, where'd you
Going
go?
into junior year.
Where'd you go to middle school and elementary school?
I went to first to middle school. And I went to Downey for elementary school since kindergarten.
Awesome. So, you love baseball.
I've been playing baseball since I was in kindergarten when I was like throwing it into a short line. I was like, when I was in kindergarten, I remember tossing a baseball bat into the stands, and I almost hit it out of a ballpark, and everybody was like, how the heck did he hit it over the seats? And a few teachers were like, how the heck did he destroy this thing? And I was like, I did it me too.
So you're a natural.
Yeah. Then I would play the following year in first grade, and then I remember getting an inside the park home run, and also in kindergarten I remember getting one home run inside the park.
No way.
Yeah. And everybody was like, nice job. That's what everybody was like, and everybody gave me a round of applause.
So that's where it all started.
Yeah.
So, do you bat righty or lefty?
I'm a switch hitter.
Switch hitter.
Yeah.
And
Bat from both sides of a plate.
do you throw righty or lefty?
I throw right.
Wow.
I throw right.
So switch hitter at the plate.
Yeah, and I throw right.
All right. Well, who's your favorite team, Anthony?
The Red Sox, my Red Sox,
Okay. And who is your dad's favorite team?
the New York Yankees.
So is that a friendly rivalry or is that a heated rivalry between
Heated
you two?
rivalry, like years past. Like the Red Sox trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1920, and the Red Sox would suffer for 86 years,
Yeah.
known as the curse of the Bambino, Babe Ruth. You've heard of him, right? Everybody, if you guys don't know who Babe Ruth is, you're living under a rock.
So what happened in 2004?
The Red Sox came back from 3-0 down to beat the Yankees in the ALCS and won the World Series.
Oh, it was amazing.
And swept the Cardinals and beat the curse of a Bambino to suffer an 86-year pain.
Oh, it was a great time to be alive, Anthony.
Yeah.
Um,
Too bad I wasn't alive.
did you go on a trip recently?
I went on a trip to New York City, and I went to a Yankees game, me and my dad. And I heard everybody at Yankee Stadium chant MVP for Aaron Judge because he's on pace for 67 home runs. the best player in Major League Baseball, Aaron Judge.
So that must have been a fun trip.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was a fun trip.
Where were the seats?
We were like sitting in the front row, you guys. It was like the first, second row.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And I heard every Yankee fan out there were like, MVP, MVP, MVP for Aaron Judge.
Oh, I wish I could have seen you in action that day. You must have been in rare form.
I was like, let's go Red Sox.
All right.
As a lifelong Red Sox fan.
And just a quick side note, how long has your grandfather been wearing pants?
Since the year 1955.
Doesn't wear shorts.
He hasn't worn shirts since the year 1955.
And you like to keep that tradition going?
Yeah. It's going to be 100 degrees out today, and I'll be wearing long pants.
All right, so let's move on to the next. Let's go to topic one here. Let's get talking baseball.
Okay, guys, let's go.
So what's going on with the Boston Red Sox?
They're 53 and 53. They were buyers and sellers at this past trade deadline.
So they're in last place in the AL East?
Yeah. But none of these teams that are under 500, which is just incredible.
So last place in the AL East behind Baltimore,
Yeah, who's been doing really well lately?
the Rays, the Jays,
Yeah, and the Yankees.
and the Yanks. But they're only 3 games out of the wild card.
Yeah, they're still very capable of getting a wild card.
So, as a fan, I'm wondering, why would they trade Christian Vasquez, their catcher?
I thought it was kind of silly, like because he works really well with the catches
And,
and the pitches.
yeah. And he's a veteran. He knows the staff.
Yep, we've had him in the farm system since like 2011, I believe it might have been.
And he's won a World Series.
2018. Which Red Sox team would end up winning 108 games.
So that one's a head scratcher, huh?
Yeah, I remember one World Series game lasting 7.5 hours, and I did not fall asleep till like 6 in the morning because of that 7.5 hour World Series game.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I would wake up late the next day because of that 7.5 hour game. And the Dodgers would later walk it off in 18 innings.
Must have been a fun night, though.
Yeah, one of the longest World Series game ever.
But also the Red Sox were buyers at the deadline as well.
Yeah, we got Tommy Pham from the Reds, which I thought was a good ad.
Yeah, tell me about Pham.
Because he's like an on base machine. He's a contact guy, hits for average.
Yep. Good speed.
Good speed, good versatility.
Yep, he's a tough guy, right?
Tough guy.
I like that addition.
Yeah.
And they also added a catcher, right?
Luis McGuire from the White Sox.
Yeah, I read a little bit about him.
I expect him to be. I think he's really good defensively. But we also have a catcher named Kevin Plawecki who's gonna be a free agent after this year.
I like him. He's got some pop. So it's gonna be those are our guys moving forward, a catcher?
I was watching a video last night. The Red Sox in the offseason, this is what the Red Sox strategy should be in the offseason. Go after some catches. I think Mike Zunino, guy with power, I think that's the guy Bloom could be going after in the offseason. That could be the Red Sox everyday catcher next year, Mike Zunino. That I heard a baseball YouTuber talk about this because I heard that Mike Zunino, he hits for power. He hits like 30, 35 home runs a year. I could see Mike Zunino being the Red Sox catcher next year. That's the guy Bloom could be going after for in the offseason because he hits for average, good on-base machine, power hitter. I could see that's the guy I think Bloom should go after for in the offseason.
I like that. He strikes out a ton.
He strikes out a lot. He had 31 home runs for the Rays last year. He's a free agent after this year.
That's pretty much what baseball's become, striking out and hitting home runs, right?
Yeah, that's the guy I think Bloom should be keeping an eye out for in the offseason, Mike Zunino.
I like that. So what about the move for Hosmer?
I like that move because he hits for average, a good contact guy, good on base machine.
He solidifies the defense at first base as well, right?
Yeah.
And they were hurting with Bobby Dahlbeck over there for a while. For a couple years, I think they needed some defense.
I could see Dahlbeck maybe coming off a bench. I could see.
It's a good bat off the bench. He's been hitting well lately, right?
Dahlbeck, I think, is a free agent after next season. Can
Next
you check?
season.
I think after next season. Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah, after next season.
All right, what else about our Red Sox? How do you feel about them going down the stretch? You think they have a run in them?
I think the Red Sox should have another run in them. I see them going on another. Red Sox play the Royals tonight.
So now that the deadline's over, we held on to Xander, we held on to Devers, we held on to Evaldi.
Devers is a free agent after next season.
Right.
Bogarts can opt out after this year. Looks like he's going to go out there and test free agency. He still has 3 years left of control for 2025, but after this year, he can opt out. Looks like he's going to go out there and test free agency.
What do you think?
I think he might.
Do you want him back?
Yeah, I do. He looks like the Cubs. They were in on Carlos Correa this past offseason.
Right.
Them and Violas. They were both in Carlos Correa in this past offseason. They were both in on Correa.
Yeah.
I expect the Orioles to have a big offseason. I expect them to get a shortstop. Could they get Bogarts?
They could. Bogarts could go anywhere he wants, right?
Yeah. What teams could go after him?
could see the Cardinals maybe.
Cardinals or the Blue Jays make the most sense. Cardinals or the Phillies, I think, make the most sense.
Who plays short for the Blue Jays? Is that Bichette?
Bichette. He's signed for 2025, I think, him and Vladdy.
Is he a good defender?
They both have 3 years left after this year.
Okay.
Aaron Judge on the Yankees, he's going to go up there and test free agency, it looks like.
And I think the Red Sox want to move Xander maybe to third or second. Is that?
Because Story next year might be the everyday shortstop, depending if looks like if Bogarts ends up now returning.
Okay. All right. So what do you think? Red Sox in the playoffs or no?
I think they could make it. I think they do have a number 1 in their hands.
We got to keep the faith as fans, right? Keep the faith.
Mhm.
All right.
I now want to make all my Red Sox fans feel bad. If you're hearing this.
I could talk Sox baseball all day with you, Anthony, but we got to move on here. So let's talk about the deadline.
Yeah.
The big trade we want to talk about, right? Juan Soto to the Padres.
Yeah, I thought that was a good move for the Padres. The Nats got some really good prospects at the Nationals.
Yeah, they got a haul.
Yep, I believe their farm system was like 23rd, 24th at one point, and now it's like 8th.
8th.
One big trade could really help out your farm.
Yeah. I mean, there was a list of high-end prospects.
I think the Nationals lost last night. I think they could be even worse without Juan Soto. Do you think?
At least for a few years, yeah. When you take that bat out of the lineup.
He's an impact guy, right?
Of course.
Like the Yankees could be losing Judge in the offseason. That's it. I'll be talking about free agency in a little bit, you guys. So
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Oh, I love that. All right, so Soto to the Padres, scary. They
also got Brandon Julie, which I thought was a really good move.
And he had a grand salami last night.
I
right?
was watching some of that Padres Rockies game last night.
First pitch, first at bat.
The Rockies sold at the deadline, right? Them and the Diamondbacks, they both sold.
I feel like they're always selling at the deadline.
If the Red Sox were just completely sold, you probably would have. JD, you might have seen going, right?
I mean, I think they tried to sell. They didn't have much luck.
Vasquez. If the Red Sox would have completely just sold, Vasquez would have went. Vasquez has been in trade rumors the past few years, just to let you know.
And he's a free agent after the season, Anthony?
After this year, yeah.
So he could come back to the Red Sox.
Mike Zunino might be the everyday Red Sox catcher next year. That's the guy I think Bruins should be going after in the offseason.
Okay.
I was watching a video last night. Who should be the Red Sox everyday catcher next year? I looked up MLB. When I got home today, when I got home yesterday, I looked up MLB free agents for catcher. Mike Zunino is a free agent after this year.
Okay, you mentioned Zunino. So last thing on Soto. So they have Manny Machado.
Yeah.
They have Fernando Tatis.
He'll be coming back, I think, next weekend. He'll be going on a rehab stuff this weekend.
It's a scary team.
When Tatis comes back, that line could be dangerous.
All right. Any other trades you want to talk about? Maybe Luis
Castillo to the Mariners, which I thought was a good move. The Mariners have not been in the playoffs since 2001, which I thought Luis Castillo looked really good in this yesterday against the Yankees. Cole got hit hard yesterday. He gave up 3 homers.
3 jacks in the first inning.
3 jacks in the first inning.
Second time he's done that this year.
That was against the Twins. Yankees would later win that game, but
on June 9th.
But the Yankees wouldn't do it, but because they couldn't rally against the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because that's how the Mariners basically just turned their year around.
Did the Yankees address their bullpen at the deadline? Do you know?
Yeah, they did. They got Lou Trevino, Scott Efros, and another.
Wow, 3 bullpen arms. So they needed that. They've had some injuries, right?
Yep, and they also got Frankie Montes from the A's.
Big pickup. He's a big.
Because
big
you don't know how long Severino's gonna be out for. They said Severino's gonna be out at least another 4 to 7 weeks.
Yep.
Or more.
Tough to rely on him. He's been hurt.
Severino, he's having problems with a lat. That same injury a couple years ago, he had problems with a lat, and he ended up missing like 2 months.
All right. I saw the Phillies made some moves.
Yep, they got David Robertson from the Cubs, which I thought was a really good move.
Yep, he's good. He's a stud.
They got Brandon Marsh from the Angels.
Is he a young bat?
The Angels traded Razzle Iglesias, who's been pretty good, but he's blowing some saves.
Yeah.
Do you think he could end up losing a closer role, which I could see, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Kind of build confidence, kind of like Edwin Diaz of the Mets a couple years ago. He couldn't even throw a strike that year.
Yeah.
What was your reaction?
That was scary.
What were you like when he couldn't throw a strike?
I was scared for the batters. Remember, he couldn't control his fastball.
He couldn't strike a guy out. He couldn't get a guy out.
He didn't know where it was going.
And the year before, he was just 2018, he was like lights out.
Unhittable.
But the following season, he couldn't strike a guy out.
That's baseball, right?
One extreme to the other.
Right. All right, so...
Topsy-turvy, right? Like the weather nowadays.
So, Anthony, anything else with the deadline you want to talk about?
Yeah. I thought Brandon Drury was a good move.
Yep, me too. He's having a great season. What's he got, 21 home runs maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Twins got Tyler Mahle from the Reds.
Sneaky pickup. Twins made some sneaky moves too.
I do have a surprise team for next year. I have the Pirates winning 85 games.
The Pirates?
Yeah.
I like their shortstop. What's his name? Cruz?
O'Neal Cruz, 6'7".
Yeah.
Basically
6'7"
Aaron Judge.
shortstop. I think he hit a bomb last night.
Yeah. They walked off the Brewers last night, and Cardinals were off yesterday. They're only a game and a half back.
And the Brewers have been playing well. Wait, who's only a game and a half back?
The Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
They play the Yankees tomorrow night.
Yeah, Goldschmidt's been awesome for them. He's back.
Do you think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
We'll see. He's got a lot of baseball left.
Goldschmidt's on pace for 36 homers, and Judge is on pace for 67.
All right, so let's transition over to the MVP race.
Aaron Judge versus Shohei Ohtani in the American League. Ohtani had 46 home runs last year, and Judge has 43 home runs right now, and Ohtani has 22. And Judge is on pace for 67, just to let you guys know.
And Ohtani's also pitching as well.
He had 7 strikeouts last night.
Did he get the loss last night?
Yeah, I think the A's won. If the Angels traded Ohtani, they would have gotten some really good pieces back. If the Angels are out of it at next year's trade deadline, I could see Ohtani getting moved.
I feel bad that he's stuck in Anaheim.
If they're out of it at next year's trade deadline, I could see him maybe going.
But, I mean, he's a generational talent.
Kind of like Babe Ruth.
He is like Babe Ruth. He can hit and pitch.
He's the modern day Babe Ruth. Like the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth, like he said many years ago. But Red Sox should not have traded him.
And that goes to show how good Judge has been, right?
Yeah.
If he's ahead of Ohtani.
Yeah. I was watching a video yesterday. Where will Aaron Judge play next year? This is what Tim Cushing of ESPN said. I think he might be gone next year.
Judge?
Yeah, hits 62 homers, wins the MVP, and wins the World Series MVP, ALCS MVP, ALDS MVP.
Well, there's a lot of baseball left. He's got to stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
Is that the knock on him?
Yep. You know what the other guy said? The Yankees, but winningest team in the history of sports. How the heck do you not bring back Aaron Judge? He's your face of a franchise.
I agree.
If he does end up leaving the Yankees, the most likely team it's the Giants. I was watching a video earlier about what teams could go after Judge in free agency. The most likely team's the Giants. He's from Northern California, from San Francisco.
Makes sense.
That's the most likely team that goes after Judge in the offseason. If it's not the Yankees, it's probably the Giants.
I like that.
To me, the Giants are the biggest, but they could use a right-handed bat. He's from Northern California. He's from San Francisco.
It's tough to invest that much money into a player that gets hurt a lot, isn't it?
Judge in the past has had health problems.
Yeah. Not this year, though.
This is only like 2 of 7 years that health has not been an issue.
Yeah.
And last year he might have missed a week like with COVID. Last year he got COVID, and he actually missed a week with COVID, and he missed a game with an ankle injury.
So common sense would say they have such a big lead in the East.
Yeah, 11 and a half games.
Maybe rest him a little bit down the stretch.
I could see him going for the home run record.
Right, but he's also going to break some records if he keeps playing this well, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Let him go for the record.
I agree. All right, Anthony. So we got one more topic here.
When we were in New York, I heard every Yankee fan say, MVP, Aaron Judge.
The court is in session.
Yep. What's going to happen if the Yankees don't bring back Aaron Judge?
Well, as a Red Sox fan, I think we'd be pretty happy, but Yankees fans, I don't know. They might burn down the city.
Let's say Babe Ruth goes to the Reds, Aaron Judge goes to the Red Sox. What will Yankee fans end up saying?
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I can't even
Is it?
imagine that.
They can say, "What the heck? You let our face of a franchise left?"
Well, they stole a bunch of our guys, right? Who'd they take from us? Damon.
Benintendi,
Who else? Ellsbury.
Roof. Definitely Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth turned their team around, right?
I forgot about Ruth. All right, Anthony. So we're heading down the stretch of the MLB season.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
Do you have any predictions for us?
I do have some predictions.
So we think the Red Sox have a chance to sneak in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees are on fire.
They've cooled off quite a bit as of late.
So we have the Mets on the other side.
Yep.
Could we have a Subway Series, Mets versus Yankees?
That was the 2000 World Series.
Yep.
Rematch of 1956.
I remember that.
The Mets won yesterday, 9-5. I was watching some of it.
That's when Roger Clemens threw the bat at Mike Piazza and thought it was the ball.
Yep. One of my favorite Mets players is David Wright, the captain named Captain America.
Yep.
Do you like him?
I love David Wright. Yep, great player. He kept getting hurt though at the end of his career.
Health problems.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Mike Trout. He's had health problems in the past.
I know. That's sad.
You,
We need him back.
keeping your guys on the field is really, really important.
So what about the Dodgers?
They're on pace to win over 110 games.
So we got Dodgers and Mets in the West. Who else? Who else is a threat out there?
Braves and Phillies, I think, could be the two wild card teams in the East. And then the team in the West looks like the Padres right now.
Yep, the Braves. They got hot last year. They snuck in the playoffs, got hot, won the World Series.
The NL Central looks like Brewers and Cardinals. That looks like that division's coming down too.
Yeah.
Looks like the NL Central's coming down to Brewers and Cardinals.
Okay. So who do you like?
I'd probably go Braves, Phillies, Padres for the wild card teams.
To play the Red Sox in the World Series?
But the Giants have cooled off all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think they're selling, right? Did they sell a little bit?
Yeah. That's probably likely. The Giants are on pace for 78 wins.
That's not going to do it.
After winning 107 last year. Fangraphs, I believe, projected the Giants last year to win, I think, 73 games. And they beat it by a lot. 72 games they projected the Giants to win last year. And they shattered it. Won
All right.
107.
So I think we stink at making predictions, right?
Yep.
But I am going to predict a Subway Series, Yankees versus Mets. What do you got?
I'd probably go Red Sox, Phillies.
Red Sox, Phillies? Our boy Schwarber comes back to Fenway?
Yeah.
Love Schwarbs. Misses bat.
Yep.
What's he got, like 33 home runs and
Yeah.
60 hits?
33 home runs, only behind Mr. Aaron Judge. Schwarber should be an MVP conversation in National League, right?
I don't know about that one.
Pete Alonso on Mets is
Yeah, he had another one last night.
number 29.
All right, buddy, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Thanks, everybody.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I hope we can do this again.
Yeah.
All right, so we're the baseball guys. Anthony Vernaglia, also known as Anthony Bag of Triscuits. I'm Matt Schoener, also known as Giraffe Neck Matty. And again, we're the baseball guys. We hope to talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good summer.